Have you ever suddenly caught a strange scent and wondered, wait, is that coming from me? If that question has ever crossed your mind, don't worry, you're not alone. Thousands of women over 60 have felt the same confusion. Even with regular showers, clean clothes, perfume, or daily deodorant, there are still moments when they feel they're not as fresh as they once were. And that can quietly affect confidence, making some hesitate to go out or feel uneasy in close conversations. The truth is, after 60, a woman's body changes not only on the inside, but also on the outside. The skin becomes thinner, sweat glands work differently, and lower hormone levels make the skin, especially intimate areas, drier and more sensitive. Products, habits, and hygiene routines that once gave a feeling of perfect freshness can now have the opposite effect, disrupting the body's natural bacterial balance and leading to unwanted odor, itching, or mild irritation. The good news is, the cause isn't old age or poor hygiene. It's simply a few small bathroom habits, the little things you do every day without realizing it. With just a few simple adjustments, you can feel a remarkable difference. A fresher, more natural scent, softer, more comfortable skin, and most importantly, the return of your confidence. In today's video, I'll share 8 common bathroom habits that most women over 60 unknowingly make. Habits that may seem harmless but can actually cause unwanted body odor and discomfort. But don't worry, each one has an easy fix. No expensive products, no complicated routines, just simple, practical changes you can start using today. So stay with me until the end of the video, because in the final part, I'll reveal a golden tip, a highly effective method recommended by many gynecologists in the US to help women over 60 maintain a naturally fresh and gentle scent all day long. What most people don't realize is that a woman's intimate area is an incredibly delicate, self-regulating ecosystem. It contains millions of beneficial bacteria, especially lactobacillus, that help maintain a natural pH level between 3.8 and 4.5. This acts as a biological shield against odor-causing bacteria and yeast. But when we use scented soaps, harsh cleansers, or douche internally, that protective layer gets disrupted. As a result, the good bacteria die off, the pH rises, and the environment becomes more alkaline, creating the perfect conditions for odor, irritation, and even infections to develop. After menopause, a woman's body becomes even more sensitive. As estrogen levels drop, the skin in that area becomes thinner, drier, and more delicate. Even a small amount of harsh cleanser can cause burning, peeling, or persistent dryness. And the irony is, the more discomfort we feel, the more we tend to scrub harder, which only makes the problem worse. So what's the right way to care for it? The answer is simple. Less is enough. You don't need expensive products or perfume sprays to mask odor. For the outer area, the vulva, rinsing gently with clean, warm water once a day is enough to remove sweat and debris. If you prefer a cleaner feeling, you can use a small amount of a pH-balanced, fragrance-free cleanser made specifically for sensitive skin, but only on the outside, never inside. Avoid using alcohol-based wipes or deodorant sprays, as they dry out the skin, cause irritation, and can actually make odors worse. A simple rule I always tell my patients: if it smells like perfume, it doesn't belong there. If you still notice an unusual odor, even after gentle cleansing, don't try to scrub hard or talk to your gynecologist instead. Your body might be sending a different signal, such as hormonal changes, a mild infection, or a pH imbalance. Your intimate area knows how to clean itself. It's a perfectly designed system that nature created to protect you. When you respect that natural balance, your body will regulate itself, and any unwanted odor will naturally fade away without extra effort. Remember, you don't have to fight your body to feel clean. You just need to treat it gently. And sometimes, less truly is more. Now let's talk about something almost everyone uses every day, but rarely thinks about: the bath towel. I'll admit, when I was younger, I used to think, well, I only use my towel after I've showered clean, so it must still be clean, right? I would hang it in the bathroom, use it over and over for a week, and only replace it when it started to smell a little damp. But it turns out that's one of the most common hygiene mistakes among older adults. The truth is, your towel is the perfect environment for bacteria and fungi to grow. Think about it. Every time you dry off, water, dead skin cells, and natural oils from your body get trapped in the fabric. When that towel hangs in a warm, humid, poorly ventilated bathroom like most bathrooms in the US, it never fully dries. And that creates a paradise for bacteria, mold, and that unmistakable musty smell you start to notice after just a few days. Many of my patients tell me they can't understand why. Even after a thorough shower, they still don't feel completely fresh. And when I ask, when was the last time you washed your towel? They usually laugh and say, maybe about a week ago. In reality, after just 3 to 4 uses, a towel can already start to accumulate bacteria. If your bathroom is humid or doesn't have a window for ventilation, you should wash it even more often, ideally after every 2 uses. So what's the right way to care for your towel? First, always hang it open and flat. Don't fold or bunch it up. If possible, hang it where there's airflow or a bit of natural light, not in a closed, damp bathroom. If you have a dryer, just tumble dry it for 5–10 minutes after each use to kill most bacteria. Second, wash your towel in hot water, if the fabric allows it, and add a bit of white vinegar or baking soda to the rinse cycle. Both are natural deodorizers that eliminate odor without harsh chemicals. Third, keep at least 3 towels to rotate. One in use, one drying, and one clean and ready. And remember, a bath towel is strictly personal. Never share it, even with family members. A small change like this can make a remarkable difference. When you use a clean, dry, and lightly scented towel, your skin will thank you. You'll feel genuinely clean, not just because of soap, but because you've removed millions of invisible bacteria you never realized were there. Be honest with yourself for a moment. When was the last time you truly paid attention to your feet? Many women tell me, I shower every day. The water runs over my feet, so they must be clean. But I'm sorry to say, just letting water run over them doesn't count as cleaning. Your feet are the hardest working part of your body, yet they're often treated as an afterthought. They support your entire weight, help you move, keep your balance, and maintain your independence. Yet studies show that over 70% of women over 60 admit they rarely scrub their feet properly in the shower, and that's exactly what leads to odor, dryness, cracking, or even fungal infections. I once had a patient named Carol, 72 years old. She was very diligent about personal hygiene and bathed regularly, yet she was puzzled because her shoes always smelled bad, even right after washing them. After checking, we discovered that she would simply let water run over her feet without actually scrubbing or drying between her toes. As a result, dead skin and sweat built up, creating the perfect environment for bacteria to grow. Just 2 weeks after she began washing her feet more thoroughly and carefully drying between her toes after every bath, the unpleasant odor completely disappeared. Our bodies change with age, and the skin on our feet is no exception. When we're young, dead skin cells shed quickly, keeping our feet soft and smooth. But after 60, this process slows down. The skin becomes dry, thick, and prone to cracked heels. On top of that, sweat glands become less active, causing moisture imbalance, which makes it easier for bacteria and fungi to grow, especially between the toes, where it's warm and damp. The good news is that with just a few minutes each day, you can restore the health of your feet. While showering, set aside at least 1 full minute just for your feet. Use a soft towel or a small brush with gentle bristles. Soak it in warm water and mild soap, and carefully clean the soles, heels, and especially between your toes. Then rinse with clean water and dry thoroughly with a separate towel. Don't skip this step. Leftover moisture is the silent enemy that leads to fungus and odor. After drying your feet, you can apply a light moisturizer or natural oil such as coconut or olive oil on your heels to prevent dryness and cracking. But remember, never apply it between your toes, as that area needs to stay dry. If you often wear closed shoes, sprinkle a bit of mild antifungal powder or talcum powder inside your shoes or socks to absorb moisture and reduce odor. For those with diabetes or poor circulation, this routine is even more important. A small crack on the heel or between the toes, if not properly cleaned, can easily become the starting point of a serious infection. I know this may sound like a small thing, but even a simple change like this can make a big difference. Clean, dry, and soft feet not only help you feel more confident, but also allow you to walk more steadily, reducing the risk of falls and discomfort. Because your feet aren't just what keep you standing in life, they are the foundation of your health and confidence at any age. Now let's talk about a habit that may seem small, but actually affects your entire bathroom environment, flushing the toilet without closing the lid. Sounds funny, doesn't it? I used to think so too. But after reading a study by microbiologists at the University of Colorado, I was genuinely surprised and a little unsettled. They found that every time you flush the toilet with the lid open, millions of tiny droplets are released into the air, creating what scientists call a toilet plume. These droplets are too small to see with the naked eye, but they can travel as far as 5 to 6 feet far enough to land on your toothbrush, towels, skincare products, or even the countertop where you keep your cosmetics. And here's the troubling part. Those droplets aren't clean water. They can carry intestinal bacteria, E. coli, fungi, and organic odor particles, the very things that make many bathrooms smell off, even after a thorough cleaning. You might not see it, but every time you flush with the lid open, you're essentially spraying a fine mist all over your bathroom. Those toilet plume particles can spread bacteria onto your toothbrush, towels, and even clothes in a nearby laundry basket. For older adults with weaker immune systems and thinner skin, the risk of skin or respiratory infections from airborne microorganisms is much higher. So simply closing the lid, a move that takes less than 2 seconds, can protect you from thousands of airborne bacteria particles. If you want your bathroom to stay fresher, clean the toilet at least 2 to 3 times a week and store your toothbrush in a cabinet or closed container to keep it from being exposed to the air. Since I started doing this, I noticed a clear difference. No more faint odors in the bathroom, towels stay fresher longer, and that clean feeling after a shower truly feels real. Let me begin this next part with a simple question and be honest with yourself. When you go to bed, do you change your underwear? Or do you wear the same one you've had on all day? If your answer is I wear the same one, don't feel embarrassed. Most women over 60 do the same. Many believe, I've been home all day, I didn't sweat, I didn't get dirty, so why bother changing? I used to think that way too, until I discovered that this seemingly harmless habit is actually one of the main reasons the intimate area becomes more prone to odor and irritation. The truth is, throughout the day, our bodies still produce sweat, natural oils, and dead skin cells even if you're not very active. All of that gets absorbed into the fabric of your underwear, creating a warm, moist environment, exactly what bacteria and yeast love most. When you wear that same underwear to bed, you're allowing all that moisture and bacteria to stay in contact with your sensitive skin for hours while your body is resting. As a result, the next morning, you might notice a damp feeling, slight itchiness, or an unpleasant odor, even though you took a shower the night before. This is why gynecologists recommend changing your underwear every night or, if you're comfortable, sleeping without it. Allowing your skin and intimate area to breathe naturally while you sleep helps reduce friction, lower moisture levels, and prevent bacterial growth. If you prefer to wear underwear, choose breathable cotton fabrics that aren't too tight. Avoid synthetic materials like nylon or polyester. They trap heat and moisture, making it easier for bacteria to thrive. Here's another simple tip. When washing your underwear, use warm water and fragrance-free detergent, rinse thoroughly, and dry them completely under sunlight or in a well-ventilated area. Avoid leaving them damp or drying them indoors in a closed room that can cause mold and bacteria to cling to the fabric. This habit may seem small, but for many women, it's a turning point in feeling fresh every day. You'll notice your intimate area stays drier, less itchy, and free of odor, and your sleep feels more comfortable too. It's like letting your body breathe after a long day, leaving you feeling lighter, cleaner, and more confident when you wake up. Because sometimes the difference between feeling clean and truly comfortable comes down to a small change starting with your underwear. This may be a habit you've never paid attention to yet. It's often the silent culprit behind that lingering odor in your bathroom, even when everything else is spotless. Yes, I'm talking about the small trash can in your bathroom. I used to do exactly what many others do. Just toss trash into it and wait until it was full to take it out. Until one day I realized something was wrong. My bathroom always had a damp, slightly sour smell, even though I had changed the towels, cleaned the floor, and even sprayed air freshener. Yet the odor kept coming back, quietly and unpleasantly. And surprisingly, the main culprit was the trash can. Have you noticed that bathroom trash cans often contain seemingly harmless items like used tissues, cotton pads, product packaging, or spent sanitary wipes? All of these hold moisture and organic matter, the favorite food of bacteria and mold. When thrown into a covered bin in a warm, humid space like a bathroom, you create the perfect environment for odors and bacterial growth. Even if you can't see it, every time you open the lid, tiny odor and bacteria particles are released into the air, settling on towels, bathrobes, and even your toothbrush. Cleaning your trash can is actually very simple. Every few days, even if it's not full, take the bag outside. Once a week, wash the inside of the bin with warm water mixed with white vinegar or a mild detergent, then dry it thoroughly. You can sprinkle a small spoonful of baking soda or add a few drops of essential oils like lemon, lavender, or peppermint at the bottom that naturally neutralizes odors without using chemical sprays. If your trash can has a lid, leave it open for a few hours each week to let it air out and prevent moisture buildup. Since I started keeping this habit, my bathroom always smells pleasant, fresh, and clean. And the best part? It takes less than 5 minutes each week. Because sometimes the secret to a truly fresh bathroom lies in the place you least expect. Imagine this. You've just stepped out of a relaxing warm shower, your skin soft and smooth, the scent of soap lingering gently, and you wrap yourself in your favorite plush bathrobe. That feeling is wonderfully comforting, isn't it? But pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you washed that robe? Most women I've spoken with give the same answer. I only wear it after showering, my body is clean, so the robe must be clean too. That sounds reasonable, but the truth is very different. Your bathrobe, the item you think is the cleanest in your wardrobe, can actually be the quietest source of moldy odors and bacteria spreading throughout your bathroom. After showering, your skin is still damp. When you put on your robe, moisture and dead skin cells from your body are absorbed into the fabric. If you hang the robe in a poorly ventilated bathroom, the steam can't fully escape, and the robe doesn't dry completely, becoming an ideal place for bacteria, mold, and that damp odor to develop. At first, you might not notice it, but over time, that smell clings to your skin every time you wear the robe, making you feel less than truly clean, even right after a shower. From a scientific standpoint, any fabric that comes into contact with damp skin becomes an ideal home for bacteria and mold. Studies show that bacteria can double in number within just a few hours on a moist surface. When you wear the same robe daily without washing it, the buildup of bacteria and odor gradually increases, making your skin more prone to irritation, rashes, or dryness, especially for those with sensitive skin after menopause. The solution is very simple. Wash your robe at least once a week. If you use it daily, wash it twice a week. After showering, hang the robe in a well-ventilated area with airflow or natural light, not in a damp bathroom. If possible, keep two robes to rotate, one being washed while the other is in use. When washing, use warm water and a mild fragrance-free detergent to avoid irritating your skin. And don't forget to dry the robe thoroughly before putting it away. You'll notice the difference in just 1 week. The robe feels softer, smells gently fresh, and most importantly, your skin feels truly clean without any lingering dampness. That's a feeling everyone deserves, a clean from the inside out sensation. Because sometimes the key to feeling fresh isn't in the body wash you use, but in what you wrap around yourself after your shower. Let me begin this next part with a question that many people probably never ask themselves. After shaving your underarms, do you thoroughly clean the area, or do you just rinse briefly and apply deodorant? To be honest, I used to think that shaving was enough to stay clean. I believed that once the underarm hair was removed, the area would feel fresh and have less odor. But after working in dermatology for many years, I discovered the exact opposite. Shaving is just the first step, And if you don't clean properly afterward, you're actually making your underarms more prone to odor than ever. When you shave, the razor not only removes hair but also strips away dead skin cells, sweat residue, and any leftover deodorant on the skin. Sounds good, right? But at that moment, the pores are open, and the mixture of bacteria, debris, and excess oils that was just scraped off still remains on the skin surface. If you don't wash thoroughly, this tiny mixture settles and begins to ferment over the next few hours, and as a result, instead of feeling cleaner, your underarms end up smelling even stronger than before. So what's the proper way to care for your underarms after shaving? After using the razor, rinse immediately with warm water to wash away all dead skin cells, leftover deodorant, and any shaving debris. Use a soft towel or a clean cotton pad to gently pat in circular motions to avoid scrubbing, as the skin is very sensitive at this time. Then thoroughly dry with a separate towel or a soft tissue. Most importantly, let the skin rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes before reapplying deodorant or antiperspirant. This step helps the pores close, reduces the risk of irritation, and controls odor more effectively. If you want to soothe your skin after shaving, apply a thin layer of aloe vera gel or alcohol-free rose water. These help naturally cool and reduce inflammation. Avoid any products with alcohol or strong fragrances, as they can cause stinging or dryness. If you've made it this far, give yourself a compliment. Not everyone dares to examine the daily habits that seem harmless to find ways to live better. We've walked through 8 common bathroom habits together, small things that have a big impact on the feeling of cleanliness, confidence, and comfort for women over 60. And the wonderful thing is, you don't need to change everything at once. Just start with the smallest habit, for example, changing your towels more often or closing the toilet lid before flushing. Your body will thank you, your skin will feel softer, your breath fresher, your bathroom will smell better, and you'll feel lighter and more confident each day. Turning 60 doesn't mean you need to shrink back. It's an age to enjoy gentle, informed, and respectful care for your own body. And sometimes feeling clean, fresh, and healthy doesn't come from adding new products. It comes from knowing when to pause, doing less, but doing it the right way. If you found today's tips useful, please hit like so this video can reach more women who may be facing the same issues as you, but don't yet know the cause. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because every week we share practical and science-backed advice to help you live healthier, happier, and more confidently after 60. And I want to hear from you. Out of the 8 habits we discussed today, which one will you start changing first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Because when you dare to make a change, you not only refresh your own body, but also inspire thousands of other women to do the same.